Hey guys. So today I want to talk to you guys a little bit about MLA. Just in case we aren't familiar with what exactly it is that we need for it, I want to make sure that everybody is kind of on the same page. We're going to go over this in class as well, but sometimes it's nice to have a video to look back on. So for your etymology essay, right, we're going to be typing in standard MLA. So the first things that I would do is to go ahead and create your header and insert your page numbers. So you're going to type in your name, right? So I'm writing this paper, so I'm going to type in my name. Okay, and then you're going to type in your teacher's name, right? So you guys are going to type in McLean because I'm your teacher. Make sure we spell my name right. That's always nice. And then you're going to type in the class, right? So it's going to be English 4 or English 4 honors, depending. And then lastly, you're going to write in the day that it is due. Okay, and the way that we write due dates, I'm just looking to see where one of my due dates is. The way that we write due dates is the date, okay, the month, and then the year, okay? And that's what it'll look like. And then you'll center, which you use by doing center align, which is right here. You'll type in some sort of title. Spell title correctly, hopefully. Hopefully the word title won't be in your title. Okay. And then the last thing we need to do is insert page numbers. So go to insert. Okay, page numbers, we want the first option, right? We want to move our cursor over to the left-hand side of the number, and then you're going to type in your last name, not my last name, your last name, okay? And then a space. So this is the wrong font. This is Arial, which we don't want. We want Times New Roman. So we'll change that to Times New Roman, and then all of this also needs to be changed to Times New Roman. And this needs to be in 12-point font. So we're going to up it one more. And then we have to change the spacing. So you'll go over here to what's this line spacing, which is the 3 horizontal lines with 1 vertical line beside it. And you'll change that to double. You want to make sure that both of these right here say add space because that means that there is no extra spacing. So you want it to look like that. And it should look like that kind of by default. And then you'll hit enter. You'll left align. You'll hit tab once. And this is the start of your intro paragraph, okay? So the last thing I'm going to show you is how to create a citation and what your works cited page should look like, all right? So let's say so this is an etymology essay, which means that obviously one of your sources is going to be the dictionary. So let's say you use dictionary.com. You might use a different one. It doesn't really matter. It should be kind of similar, okay? So I'm showing you guys how to use EasyVib, which is an online citation generator. It can be really helpful. So we want to go to create citations. We are citing a website. All right. I would not do this. This does not work very well. It generally tends to duplicate a lot of information, and it doesn't seem to be super helpful. Okay. So I would suggest using the manual entry mode. Okay. So article title is going to be school. That's the name of this article. We don't have an author, so we're going to ignore that. Right. The title of the website is dictionary.com. A publisher, if it has one, will generally be at the bottom of the page. And it's right here. So we've got dictionary.com, LLC. Right. The URL we'll just copy and paste. And then some of the articles and things like that will often have a date that it was published. You're unlikely to find it on one of the definition ones. So you can just leave that blank. All right. And then hit complete citation. All right, so here it's going to be the style, right? And we want MLA, and 8 is fine. Okay, we want MLA though. That's kind of the big thing. Okay, so generally what your things are going to look like is if you have an author, it'll be here at the very beginning. It'll be last name, comma, first name, period. And then the title of the work, the article, the page, whatever, will be in quotation marks. The title of the website will be italicized. The publisher will come right after it. And then you'll have your URL and then a publication date if there is one. Okay. So we've got that. So we're going to hit copy. We don't want any of that. Okay. And then the way that you make a works cited page. So Control Enter will do a page break, which will mean that it'll always be the last page of your paper. That's what your works cited page is. It's always the very last page of your paper. So even if you only have one sentence on page 2 of your paper, your works cited page will be page 3. That's just kind of one of those things that happens with MLA. So you're going to center it. You're going to type in works cited. All right. You're going to hit enter. You'll left align it. And then you can just copy and paste your citation directly into it. All right. This is formatted a little bit wonky. I don't know why it's bolded. We don't want that. So we're going to get rid of that. We're not going to bold it. I'm just being very slow. I apologize. All right. And we're not going to indent it. So you want to make sure that these little bars are all the way over by the gray. So you may have a citation that goes over one line. It goes onto the second line. And that's when we would need something like a hanging indent. So let's say that it had a publication date and it was February 2021. Okay, so you can see that this now goes on to a second line. So what I'm going to have to do is create what we call a hanging indent. The way that you do that is you hit tab twice, and then you're going to pull this flat blue bar up here at the top over until it says 0.0. And then you'll release. And this is what's called a hanging indent. It means that every line except for the first is indented. Not the first line is indented, every line except for the first. Your works cited, your citations rather, will be in alphabetical order by whatever comes first, right? So often it'll be an author's last name, or it might be the title of the article. It doesn't matter. Whatever this first letter is, okay, that's how you're alphabetizing it, unless your article starts with A, an, or the, in which case you would ignore that. So you always ignore A, an, or the. In terms of like articles, like if the title of my next article was A Day in the Life of a School Teacher, I would ignore A in terms of my alphabetizing, and I would go straight to day. So it would go D, and it would go in front of school. Okay. So this is just a quick kind of overview of what MLA formatting looks like, so that we do not lose any points there, because it's 15 points of your paper. So it'd be good if it's totally correct. Okay. If you have any questions, as always, let me know. Otherwise, I will be around to read your essays. Bye, guys.